Hello again and welcome to my channel. Today's tutorial is for a new throw crochet along. It's called Alicia's Rose Garden and it's worked in double knit yarn. I'm using a 5mm hook, and the colours that I'm going to use today on this tutorial are a little bit different to this sample that I've got here. I'm using these sort of autumny shades of double knitting yarn. The first part of the CAL that we're going to do today is the centre square here, and then I will do the following parts in separate videos to make it a little bit easier. I'm going to start with the pale lemon yarn, and as always we're going to start with a slip knot onto the hook, and we're going to do 5 chain. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. We're going to join with a slip knot, a slip stitch, to form a ring like so. Into this ring we're going to work 8 popcorn stitches. That's I'll just show you on here, the center of the starting flower. So to do a popcorn we're going to chain 3, that's going to count as the first double, plus another 3 doubles. 1, 2, 3, it gives us 4 stitches all together. And then to form the popcorn we're going to take the yarn out of the loop, we're going to put the hook through the first stitch, pick up the loop and pull it through, pull tight, and then we're going to chain 1 to fasten off that first stitch. So there we've got the first popcorn. We're going to do another 7 of those. So into the loop, pick up a loop, yarn over through 2, yarn over through 2 as just a normal double crochet, and another 3 doubles, and that then we do exactly the same as we did before. Into the top of that first stitch there with the hook, pick up that loop, pull it through, pull tight, and a chain to finish. So we've now got 2 popcorns. I'm going to carry on and do the other 6 popcorns now. So again, just move the yarn slightly. And there's the second double. 3 and 4, and again into the top of the first stitch, pick up that loop from the last stitch and just pull it through, chain 1 to finish. And then just carry on working the rest of the popcorns until you've got 8 popcorns all together. Try and remember to tell you what the colours are that I've used for this blanket. If you saw the unboxing of the Mariner purchase that we made, you would have seen such as the bright yellow called Sunflower. I'm using the dark brown, which is there. We've got the cinnamon along with the Begonia, which I think look quite nice. We've also got a Lovett green, which when we're doing the further along into the throw, the Lovett green will be for the V-stitches and they're going to form a leaf. But you can do this blanket in any colours that you want to use. you know, for your own colour theme. But I would suggest that the one colour that you would probably be better off using on the V-stitches is green, simply because it's to form a leaf. So I'll leave you to get on and work your 8 popcorns. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll do another 3 and I'll join you when we get to the end of that row. Just done the 7th popcorn. I'm now going to work the 8th one. You might have to push your stitches round a little bit to get the last one in. 1, 2, 3 and 4. Into the first stitch, pick up the loop, pull tight, chain 1, and then we're going to join into the first popcorn that we made with a slip stitch. And there we've got the first row done. Just going to see if I can find the end of the yarn there, because if you pull tight it will pull that centre circle in slightly. We're now going to do the next row of the centre. Again we're working with popcorns, but we're going to do 2 popcorns in between each of these popcorns that we've done previously. So the easiest way is to slip stitch into that next space like so, and then we're going to start the next popcorn here. And again, because we're starting a new row, the first stitch will be the 3 chain. So we've got 3 chains followed by 3 doubles. 1, 2 and 3. We're going to put the hook into the top of that 3 chain, pick up that loop, pull it through and chain to finish. But we're going to do another popcorn into this same space here. So we start off with 8 popcorns. On the second row we're going to have 16. Don't worry if it feels a little bit tight. It is quite a dense centre. So we've done the 2, chain to finish. We now move over to the next space between the popcorns, which is here, and we're going to work another 2 popcorns into that space. Into the first stitch, pick up the loop, pull through, chain 1 and another popcorn into that same space there. So we've got 2 in the first space, 2 in the second, and again we're going to do 2 all the way around in between each of these stitches, and then we'll join to the first popcorn with a slip stitch. Don't forget to do the last part of a popcorn, which is the 1 chain, just to fasten it off. You might want to pause the video until you've worked your 16 popcorns on this row. Got 2 into that one, which gives me 6. So I'll carry on and work my 2 popcorns into each space, and I'll meet you when we get to the end of this row. Just got the one more popcorn to do in the final space there. And you will need 10 different colours for this crochet along for the blanket. As I say, you can use any shades of colour that you want for your own colour theme, but I will put in the description the names of the colours that I've used on this particular one in case you want to do the same colour theme. So we've come to the end. We're going to join into that first popcorn with a slip stitch and then cut off the yarn and pull that end through. So that's row 1 and row 2 completed. I'm now going on to the sunshine yellow, which is a brighter shade of yellow for the next row, and this row we're going to do 3 double crochet clusters. We're going to work 2 into one space, we're going to work 1 into the next space, so we'll do 2 in between the 2 clusters and then 1 in between the 2 popcorns, and then 1 in between the 2 in the group of 2. So I'm going to do a standing double or part of a standing double for the 3 double crochet cluster. It just gives it a neater finish. So we're going to yarn over into the space between the 2 sets of popcorns, pick up a loop, yarn over and pull through, but leave 2 loops on the hook. We're going to do it again, into the stitch, pick up a loop, yarn over through 2. We've now got 3 loops on the hook, and we do the same again, yarn over into the space, pick up a loop, yarn over through 2. We're now going to go through all 4 of the loops there. We're going to chain 1 to finish the stitch. We're going to do another 3 double crochet cluster into that same space. We've got 4 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through all 4 and then chain 1 to finish. So we've got 2 clusters in this first space here. We're now going into the space between the 2 popcorns, and we're going to do just 1 3 double crochet cluster. Chain 1 to fasten off, and we move over to this space here between the 2 sets of popcorn, and we're going to do 2 3 double crochet clusters. Chain in between, and then another 3 double crochet cluster in that same space. So you can see we've got 2, then 1, then 2. Chain to finish off the cluster, and we're going to do just 1 into this next space here. I'm going to catch this tail of yarn underneath the work as well to save working it in later on. So into this next space we do 1 3 double crochet cluster. Chain to fasten off, and then we're going to do the same again, 2 into the next space. There's 1, and a second one into that same space there. So we've got 2 1 2 1 2, and we're going to carry on all the way around this row doing the same repeat. 2 into that one, and then 1 into the next. Oops, got a little bit of a knot in the yarn. There we go. So we've done 2 in that one, it's 1 in this one, and then 2 into the next one. One into this next one here. And again, you might want to pause the video until you've worked all your 3 double crochet clusters around this centre. You can see the circle forming there. 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1. We do the same all the way around, and I'll meet you when we get to the end of this row. So once we've done the final 3 double crochet cluster, we're going to join into the top of the first cluster with a slip stitch, slip off the yarn and pull through. So there we've got the centre of the first flower. I'm going to square off now the design, so I'm using the sort of a pale sort of orange shade there. Now this row will square off our blanket, and then it'll carry on working as a square all the rest of the way. So we're going to join the yarn in between the 2 double crochet clusters here. You see we've got the 2 and the 1, so it's into this first corner here. If you wanted to, you could actually mark, because we're going to have 6 clusters in between each of the corners, and I'm going to start with a standing treble. So for a treble, we're going to yarn over twice, into the stitch, pick up a loop, we yarn over, pull through once, yarn over, pull through twice, yarn over, pull through 3 times. We're going to do another exactly the same, yarn over, I'll just show you again there, yarn over twice, into the space, pick up the loop, yarn over once, yarn over through 2 twice, yarn over through 2 3 times, and that's going to form the corner pieces. Oops, I'll just show you on the original one where we've got the trebles here that are going to form the corner. So we'll work 3 trebles. If you prefer not to work a standing treble as the beginning stitch, you can actually work 4 chain, and that will count as your first stitch. So yarn over, into the loop, through 2, yarn over through 2, yarn over through 2. We're going to just chain 1 for the corner there, and we're going to do 3 more trebles into that same space there. 3 and a 3rd one. So there we've got the first corner has formed. We're going to skip to the next space. So we've got the 1 space just here. We're going to work 3 doubles into that space. 1, 2 and 3. We're going to do 3 doubles into the next space. We're not doing any chains in between. If we had chains, the work starts to frill a little bit, so we're just working doubles straight into these spaces here. So 3 more doubles, 1, 2 and 3. In the next space we're going to work 3 half doubles. So a half double is yarn over into the space, pick up a loop, yarn over, and we pull through all 3 of the loops, and we're going to do another 2 of those. And then into the next 2 spaces we're going to work 3 doubles. 1, 2 and 3. The same again into the next space, 3 doubles, and then we're over into the next corner. So into this we should be going into a space between the 2 clusters. We're going to do the 3 trebles with a chain in between, and then another 3 trebles. So yarn over twice into the loop, yarn over 1, yarn over 2 and 3 times. So just work 3 trebles, chain 1, and then another 3 trebles into that same space. Oops, lost the yarn there. Two and 3. So that's one complete side and 2 corners are formed. So we're going to work the same along this next side, where we're going to skip the cluster and work 3 doubles into that first space. And move along to the next space. Oops, I've caught the tail end of the yarn that I'm going to work over those ends as well. So we do 3 doubles into the next space. Got 1, 2 and 3. So we've done the corners, the 2 sets of 3 doubles. We're now going to move on to the next space and work 3 half doubles, and this is where I'm going to catch the tail of the yarn. I've got 1, yarn over, pull a loop through, yarn over and through all 3 loops, and again a third half double. We're going to work 2 sets of 3 doubles in the next 2 spaces. 1, 2 and 3. The same again into the next one. 1, 2 and 3, and then we're going to the next corner, which is a space between the 2 clusters here, and we're going to work the trebles. So 3 trebles, 1 chain and 3 trebles in the corner. Chain 1, two and 3. We've now got 2 complete sides, so we're going to carry on in the same way, working 2 sets of 3 doubles, 1 set of half doubles, and then 3 doubles, 3 doubles, and then we'll do another corner with the 3 trebles, a chain and 3 trebles, and I'll meet you when we get to the end of this row. And now we've reached the end of the row, so I'm just going to join in with a slip stitch into that last stitch, snip off the yarn and fasten off. Don't worry if it's not laying totally flat, it will as we get further into the design. So the last row on this part of the crochet along, we're just going to join with a slip stitch onto the hook. We're just going to work a single crochet into each stitch. In the corners on this one, we start with 1 single followed by 2 chain and another single into that same stitch. We're going to skip that first stitch there, and we're going to work 1 single in each of the next stitches all the way along. So it's just simply 1 single crochet, which is into the stitch, pick up a loop, yarn over and through the 2 loops. We're just going to work that all the way around the square. Not forgetting in the corners we've got the 1 chain and 1 single and 2 chain. But any frilling or pulling of your work will sort itself out in the subsequent rounds. So we've reached the next corner, we've got 1 single, 2 chain and 1 single. Skip that first stitch and work a single into each stitch down to the next corner. Again, you might want to just pause the video here until you reach that next corner, and I'll see you when we get there. We've reached the end of this side, and there should be 20 single crochets along, plus the 2 singles in the corners with the 2 chains in between. So again, in the corner, 1 single, 2 chain, 1 single, skip the first stitch, and then we do a single in the next 20 stitches along the row, and then down to the next corner, where again we're going to do the single, 2 chains and a single. So I'll let you carry on around to the end of this row, and I'll meet you when we get to the other side. Round to the final stitch, and we're going to join with a slip stitch into the first stitch there, cut off the yarn, fasten off and pull through. So as I say, your work might have a little bit of a frill to it at the moment, but that will definitely flatten out as we go further into the crochet along. So that's the end of this first part of the throw. On the next video we'll go on to carrying on after this squared part of the blanket. So I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I do hope that you'll carry on and work the blanket crocheting along with me. So I hope to see you again soon, and thanks for watching. Bye.